Welcome, my name is Marty Shankman, and I'm joined by Mark Alton. Mark is the president of NAPEC, the National, I got to say it, think when I say it, National Association of Estate Planners and Counsels, which is an industry group that has, what did you say, 270?
275 different councils and
across the country, every major city, every secondary city as well.
And 30,000 designated members.
And he's also chairman of the Synergy Summit. We've talked in other video clips about collaboration, but I guess the real question, how do you help people collaborate? So a lot of professionals, I think, want to collaborate, but run into roadblocks. And I'll tell you what I think is the biggest first roadblock, and I think it's a complete cop-out. Client doesn't want to pay for it.
Right.
My experience is that, one, using technology, and I'll give a couple really low-tech examples, can make a lot of the collaborative process almost no cost. Two, I think that's a red herring, if you will, that clients get so much benefit out of it that they can't get hurt by collaboration. It makes everybody more efficient, gives them better ideas, and better ideas is more value. And sort of the low-tech way, what I do is when I have a client matter, I send a copy of a draft memo to everybody on the team before it goes to the client. Yeah. Nobody's embarrassed. Everybody can get their opinion in. If I made a mistake or missed something, somebody can tell me. I think that's a simple and great start to the process.
I agree with you, and I think just like anything else, if you have an explicit process for collaboration, it will happen. Those types of things will happen. So we published a 35-page white paper on collaboration. That
where can people get that?
You can access that on the NAPEC website under Guide to Teaming. But the first step in collaboration is really initiating a conversation with the client and showing them the benefits of collaboration and helping them build a team, figure out who are those advisors that they trust, that they've worked with in the past and why, and just start to build that team. The second step is to get them to reach out to all their other advisors and ask those advisors to collaborate.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
They should not just ask, they should insist.
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference.
Yeah. So as soon as that happens, of course, the other advisors start to feel some anxiety about what's this all about? Is this guy trying to take business away from me or whatever? So we encourage the advisor to right away to reach out and touch these other advisors and set up personal meetings, face-to-face meetings with them, to just reinforce how much the client trusts them and how much we're looking forward to working together and how much we can do together, much more than what we could do on our own individually.
It's an interesting comment how you made, and I think that's another one of the big impediments. Gee, if I collaborate, somebody else is going to have their hooks on my client. I view it very differently. So every client that walks in my office, I may only be their estate planner. They may have a matrimonial attorney, a financial advisor, insurance consultant, an accountant. So everyone coming to my office is giving me 6 new points of contact for getting referrals.
Yeah.
How much better can that be?
Yeah.
I don't know why people view it negatively when it can be such a positive.
I think people who have done it this way, they understand how positive it is, but it's, again, unless you've done it before, you have an explicit process, it just doesn't happen naturally. Then once you get into collaboration, you're actually in the room with the other advisors and you're collaborating about some particular transition that the client's going through. We've developed specific theory. It starts with having a common purpose that's client-centric, and that we all understand on the team what that purpose is.
It should be essential for everybody.
Right? To the extent we're not working together, we're working against one
right.
another. Secondly is just to understand all the interactions, the interdependencies between all the different professions and their disciplines. So understanding that when you do something in your own silo, it's going to affect me and all the other professionals, and we need to know about that. And then finally is communication, being willing to share openly and honestly with one another, but also listening, and trying to understand and appreciate all the other perspectives. Again, the goal here is to learn together from each other how to get to where we want to get to help the client.
But everybody benefits, especially the client.
Absolutely.
I think the other term you just used is also one of the critical impediments, this sort of silo mentality. My job is to do a document. My job is to do a tax return. My job is to do an asset allocation. But often the best planning opportunities are somewhere in the gray zone between all of those.
Yeah. And there's compensation schedules. Attorneys and accountants get paid based on an hourly the wealth managers get paid fee-based. And some of these people in the group can do deep discovery a lot better than others. They have that skill. Some can facilitate a meeting. I always say, everybody wants to talk about the quarterback or how important it is to have a leader. And I really think in a truly collaborative environment, the most trusted and indispensable advisor is the team itself. And the leadership really rotates around the proverbial table.
My view is this concept of a quarterback is really antiquated. So if a client is just starting, I may have to be the quarterback to get the process going because I'm trying to get the structure and some of the facts. If I reach a certain level, like some of the examples we gave earlier, I have to flip it back to the wealth advisor because I need your input to make a decision.
Right.
And then at some point I may have to turn it over so you and the accountant are talking about harvesting gains and losses or tax planning, and I may still be involved. I want to be involved, but I may become secondary in that conversation.
Yeah, and the initial thing you say, I call that an administrative leadership role. I mean, somebody has to set the agenda and coordinate the meetings.
But that's not being a quarterback.
Right, exactly.
Right. Any last comments?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, Marty. Again,
all right.
We've talked about everything. I think.
I want to thank Mark Alton for joining me, and please consider that the video clips are for entertainment purposes only, not the rendition of any professional advice. Thank you.